Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray, Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step up to the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter alongside Jim, the Cheat Sheet Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But Jimmy, guess what? We broadcasting all the way around the world on Facebook Live and, Jimmy, YouTube Live. Jimmy, we live in 2 places, man. What they used to say? We the 2 live crew. But you know what? I just want to have a good afternoon to everybody. Everybody except those people who doubted my Houston Rockets. Y'all have a good baby Friday. Because guess what? Small ball is in full effect. You understand me? Jimmy, don't look crazy, Jimmy. Small ball. You were one of those. I just don't see how they can do it. I just don't see how they can do it. They trade Capella. But Jimmy, what that's going on? I done got that out of my sister. You know, I done got that out of the sister. But small ball is in. No, Jimmy, I got a new name for it now. We don't call it small ball now, Mandy. Guess what, Mandy? I got micro ball. How about that? What you got, Jim?
Well, I'm talking about the Rockets. Now, one thing for sure, I never said I don't see how they can do it. Never said I don't see how they can do it.
Mindy.
Never said that. So now people have said it. I've never put my stance down with the Rockets. I just said one thing about it is that the fact still remains that the head coach, you can allow your attention to be diverted if you want to, but he still has not been renewed on his contract. So he's still dead man walking, and it looks to me as if the Rockets do not advance, at least get to a game 7 of the second round, then they will have a new head coach.
I don't care about the head coach. I care about them 2 dudes.
I understand something, Howard. No matter what, here's the thing. It's all likelihood the new head coach is going to bring about a new system. They're not going to, that new head coach ain't going to come in and walk in and say, I'm going to play small ball too. He's not going to
and guess what? We're going to run his arse away from here too. You better cut. Hey, Jimmy, when those 2 guys go 30, Jimmy, they 6-1, 30 apiece. They 6-1. Let's say, Jimmy, I don't know if you, My homeboy, my nephew didn't shoot the ball but 16 times, Jimmy, last night. Go to your stat book like you always want to do.
I mean, I've already been there.
No. Go again right now for me.
Alan,
Huh?
You're talking about a 30, 40 point game. So of course it didn't take that many shots. They were cruising. They were. I mean, think about it. That was in Mercy room
Ain't this
mode.
the same team that you talked about when the team beat them and the dude talked crazy? John Morant talked crazy to James, and you came on to, man, I ain't never seen that kind of disrespect to a superstar before. Guess what?
Last night he shot some slug last night, and let me share you guys what I mean. He shot slug after the game. John Morant, he noted that Russell Westbrook was his idol coming up. That was his favorite player, and he went to just giving all praises to Russell Westbrook. He meaning John Morant. He didn't, and guess what?
Some people just haters. Jimmy, you got to realize those same NBA players you talking about, they don't even vote. Some of them guys didn't even vote for LeBron as the MVP. Some of these guys, dude, you always got Jimmy. It's always petty and hating dudes around. That dude, no James Harden is that dude. Because he shot up. James treated him like a little broad last night. Excuse me, y'all. Treated him, like, excuse the pun. Treated him like he was, get out of the way, little boy. That man, I think he was, did you find his stats? He was about 5 for 100.
I mean, John Morant 5 for 13 with 12 points.
Dude, you ain't did enough yet. I love John Morant, but you haven't done enough to mess with the MVP. You ain't done enough yet to mess with the MVP.
Is he still your rookie of the year?
He pissed me off last night. I might take some points off from it. I don't like that. You can't listen to me. You can't mess. He ain't one of my nephews, Jimmy. I like him, but you can't mess with my folks, man. You know I am about my kin folks. You mess with James. You mess with Russ. You got a problem with Rob.
Now I want to remind you, the New Orleans Pelicans are only 3 games back of those Memphis Grizzlies. Portland, they're spiraling downhill. Damian Lillard he's wrestling with injuries. The team hadn't been the same since they made the trade a couple of weeks ago. But back to this Houston Rocket game, and I'm gonna tell you, as you guys know that all the time, what I invite you guys to focus on when it comes to the Rockets. One sign of a good day at the office is all you have to do is look beyond the start and go towards the bench. Last night, the Rockets bench produced over 50 points combined. Over 50 combined from the bench. Very rare air for the Rockets. And as you see, 7 players scored double digits for the Rockets last night.
Hey.
7. 3 off the bench. Hell, 3 players off the bench scored double digits, including just a remarkable game from Austin Rivers shooting the ball. 23 points off the bench for Austin Rivers. Jeff Green had 11, and McLemore had 11 as well. But more importantly, the Rockets were cooking from the 3-point land. They shot 46%, guys, 23 for 50. You make 23 3-pointers in the NBA, you are going to likely win the game. And one of the things that I found that was funny, because the one thing about it, you can say what you want about Mike D'Antoni, but he stands firm on his belief. And remember, when they first started the small ball, I remember Mike D'Antoni making a statement about, because a lot of the press were reminding him of the deficiency in the offensive rebound. And I remember Mike D'Antoni say, "To hell with that! Y'all worrying about the wrong thing. It's not the offensive rebounds that we worried about. It's the second chance points that we're worried about with the Rockets." He said, "Now we can contain the second chance points, then we're in good shape. We're going to get out rebounded a lot. But at the same time, and guess what? What they're doing, the Rockets right now, a lot of people in basketball will pray that it can't hold up in the postseason.
And
because
one of them is talking right now. But keep going.
Oh, you?
You.
No, I don't pray. I love the controversy and when this type of stuff.
Oh, you like okay.
Because if it does hold up, meaning that hold up means they don't have to get to the finals, but they could. Remember, they're not going to have to face. They're not likely. Well, you don't know; it's too early. But the way that they're looking at it is that they will have to face either probably LA, maybe, or the Clippers, maybe. They don't think they will have to face both of them. Even so, the thing is, if small ball can hold up and get the Rockets to at least a game 7 of the second round, I think that's the mark. Whereas you say, okay, success or failure.
Okay. That's the y'all.
Game 7 of the second round.
Jim, they can lose in the first round, and guess what? I'm still gonna be with James. I don't care nothing about the coach. See, y'all worry about the wrong thing. I'm worried about James Harden and Russell Westbrook. You can throw everybody else in the ocean. I'm kind of liking Covington, but he ain't in my family. But I'm kind of liking him a little bit. Jeff Green. Hey, you see what Jeff Green, he filled it out a little bit. Get what Jeff said. Sign me in. Jimmy, Jeff said, sign me up, man. Sign me up. I'm with this. Mini free shot. Jimmy, I'm telling you. My partner of mine told me that Covington, one of Covington's friends, he said, man, let me tell y'all something. Covington, happy is heck. They said, Covington said, man, I cannot. Jimmy, but you know what, though? Can I take a moment? Can I get a moment of silence? I just want to show y'all something in honor of Russ and James right now. Jimmy, indulge me for a minute. Jimmy, just indulge me for a minute, Jimmy. Don't be mad at me, Jimbo. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad at me. You know, let me just show you. That's how my boy's doing right now, Jimmy. Hold on, Jimmy. I got another one for you. Hold up. That's how my boy's doing right now, man. Hold on. I'm not through. Hold on. I got something else for you. Hold on. Look at my dudes, man. Oh, hold on, Jimmy. I'm not through. Hold on. Hey, let me tell y'all, man. Hey, man. I love them guys, man. Let me put it back on us, Jim. Don't look how you looking, man. Look, you know what? Look how you looking, man.
The man got a wig on. Man got a wig on. And you endorsing it. See, that's what happened.
Oh, no. I got something else. Man, hey, I'm telling y'all, this is can't y'all tell how great of a mood I'm in? It's a great day. Now, what you got to say about that, Jim? What you got to say?
Dude, so you ready to have a parade after beating the Memphis Grizzlies?
No, Jimmy, I've been really had that queued up for about 2-3 weeks. But
okay.
So soon as it happened. But I feel so good about them right now, Jimmy, because you got to remember, I had to sit over on this show when that stuff first happened. They lost a couple of games. Y'all talk real bad to me. You, Lori Dyson, Kevin Freidman, and y'all talk Jimmy, y'all talk real bad to me, man. Talking about how it's over for them. It's the end of the line. Robert, what you expect out of them? So guess what? Can I enjoy this day? Can I enjoy this day? Now, okay. Now, what else you want to talk about?
Boy. The Memphis Grizzlies, y'all. Memphis, y'all. Understand? Memphis.
Every little step I take.
Pay attention.
I'm paying attention.
Now, one of the things I want to take note of course, last night, the New York Knicks. Shout out to Lori Dotson on there.
Uh-huh.
They didn't play Damian Dotson last night. I don't like that. They should have just freed Damian. They should free him so he can come to a program that has a winning culture, that whereas he can go and especially this time of year and do kind of like Daniel House did last year. Remember a year ago? Daniel House came from the G League. Rockets brought him back up and they solved their differences on the contract thing, and he ended up getting himself a bag. The Knicks need to let Damian Dotson. They need to free him. There are several teams that could use him, this young man, and that's the truth. Because right there, you're right. There are crabs in a bucket. The players with the Knicks right now, because everybody's jockeying. Not many want to be there. They're stat. A lot of the players are stat chasing.
You don't think they want to be there, Jimmy?
A lot of them don't want to be there. They wanted to come there. They don't want to be there now.
Jimmy, you don't want to be young and rich and live in New York. Jimmy, you could be somewhere losing in another city.
I don't think that I say most of them right now if they could fly the coop, they would. They're stuck there. You want to be in New York when at first you want to get the experience. You've heard the glamour, get the nightlife, getting a few parties free, get some VIP treatment. But then after, losing and a losing culture, the atmosphere, it don't smell right. And that's the thing. It ain't no fun to have. With the Knicks right now. I'm glad to see Mitchell Robinson had 16 rebounds and 12 points in that loss. But then at the same time, I don't. Damn, he's not playing. I don't like him.
You know what? You don't own no team. I don't own no team. Guess what? He in a better place than a lot of us. Stick in there, Damon. Stick in there. Keep your head up. Keep being a professional. Show up early. Leave late. And guess what? Somebody else gonna see that. And that's all you can do, Jimmy, in the NBA, man. That's all you can do. There's a lot of people that lose. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'd rather be losing in New York than losing somewhere else in Orlando. I can rest assured you that. Well, not Orlando, because I can play golf all the time. But I'd rather be losing in New York than some of these other places. That's all. That's just me. I just like the city. Like the city.
And of course, speaking of, also last night, the Dallas Mavericks 109 to 103 over the San Antonio Spurs. That score is definitely not surprising to anyone. However, Luka with a triple-double is, I think, 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, 21st or 22nd in his young career. Alan, he's still 20 years old.
Jimmy. And guess what he's using? He is utilizing that move that all of y'all was complaining about that my nephew had instituted in the league. And everybody started talking about he traveling. Now, you might have didn't know because, you didn't care about the traveling. You just care about other stuff. You care about his nightlife. But the traveling. Now, Luka steps back every time he shoot it now. James revolutionizing this game, man. Him and Stephon Curry, man, my nephew. Why y'all think I call him my nephew? These guys know what they're doing, man. They revolutionizing the game, Jimmy. I'm sorry. Who is that? Lawrence said, losing in a place like Houston. Houston ain't losing. Lawrence, hey, Jim, Lawrence must have got what's in your cup. You must have gave Lawrence some of that crown in that different color bottle. You got a regular bottle of Crown and another bottle of Crown. That's what Lawrence must be. He said losing in a place like Houston. We don't lose here, baby. Jimmy, you know how many games we out of, Jimmy, will you tell him how many games we out of a second place? Would you help him? Would you help him, Jimmy?
If I'm not looking at it now, but they should be between 3 and 5.
Okay. No. 5, no. 3.
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
I mean, but that's kind of like you take away and exclude. You take the Lakers away from the West and exclude the Milwaukee Bucks in the East. All those teams are within
Like
from
this.
3 spots up. Any variation of 3 spots up or down is about a 3 to 5 game radius. Meaning that wherever you are, if you're in fourth place, you're probably 3 spots from second. If you're in fourth, you're probably three in seventh place. It's probably 3 games or 5 games away from you on that aspect. So it just goes to show the I mean, I guess the balance of this year. Of course, 2 teams have been, have extracted themselves from normality, and that's in the win-loss column, and that's the Lakers and the Bucks. We know that the Clippers, remember now, they get an asterisk because health-wise, I'm quite sure that team has probably not even played 20 games with the full allotment, full roster. Paul George has been gone for a couple of weeks now. Then you factor in the load management scenarios. This will not play this game. This will not play that game between Kawhi and Paul George. But it's one thing about it, they're loading up for the postseason. So it's obvious in regard to the Clippers. Other teams, not that so. It's like LeBron James. First, he was a vocal proponent against it, but he's now implementing a variation of the load management, but they're just not calling it that. It's a growing.
What you call it, Coach? You out rather this load management professor. What you call it?
He got the win that he wanted, so he cashed out, and LeBron he earned the day off against Golden State, who's in last place.
He earns a day off?
He earned a day off. You hit 40, dude. LeBron hadn't scored 40 since December of 2018, Hatter. Not in 2019. Since 2018 is the last time LeBron has scored 40 points. So he's been maintaining a peak level of greatness. And we didn't even realize this man hadn't scored 40 points. That's how great he's been in his age. There's no pressure for LeBron to score 40. But we know if he wanted to score 40, he could do so at will. But it would take a lot of energy out. You don't need 40s from Braun right now. That was a statement game from Braun. Just as the Rockets last night, that was a statement from the Rockets after what happened the last time they played the Memphis Grizzlies. And if you're paying attention, you will see often NBA guys make statements. But you must be paying attention to see it. Seriously. It's like the Greek Freak. When the Greek Freak went and opened the season down in LA, that was a statement. He was coming out there saying, okay, USA basketball, y'all laughed at me in the summer. Y'all bust our butts. Understand. Greek Freak won MVP. So he came into the summer with the hardware. They went to the FIBA games, and USA had to play against his country. What is it? Greece. And Greek Freak was held to like 13 points in that game. That's all. And people's like, wait a minute. So then the question started.
When Brazil beat them?
No, when USA
for Greece now.
USA played them.
Oh no, but Brazil beat them too.
I'm talking about the game against the people that's in the NBA, a whole team of NBA players. They went at him and they contained this guy and held him. And I remember after the game, you had different guys shooting subliminals at Greek Freak, like questioning the validity, of that MVP, because now we just went at him and he looked very normal. He looked very like a regular international player, but we knew he was greater than that. It was just one of those games. So then all he could do then is wait until the season. And right now, it appeared the Greek Freak is backing it up and having one hell of an encore performance, but he must get to the finals. That's the thing. The Bucks.
So the Bucks got to get to the finals. Did you see what happened to Embiid last night?
I heard he got injured, right?
Yeah, he got hurt. His shoulder hurt. So he's out. Ben Simmons out. But Jimmy, let me tell you something. Have y'all been watching over the last month what have y'all been watching what Jason Tatum has been doing?
He's been killing.
Jason continues to do the damn thing. He had 33 points in a win over the Jazz last night, Jimmy. He continues this hot streak. He been on a hot streak in February, Jimmy. He averaged 30 in February. I got a question for everybody out there, all you basketball heads. Is he the best player in the Eastern Conference not named Giannis Antetokounmpo? Is he the best player not named Greek Freak? Because the thing he's doing is absolute phenomenal now. Brad Beal is balling, Jimmy. And I let y'all gather y'all thoughts. Brad Beal is balling, but he losing. So that's a separate category. Trey,
Trae
Young is lit.
Not even in the conversation.
But they've been talking about him lately, Jimmy. But Trae Young was an all-star, right? Hold on.
Losing as well.
But guess what I saw? Guess what? I looked at the metrics. Trae Young is literally the worst defender in the NBA according to metrics. Mm-hmm. The worst defender. What about Siakam? 24 points a game. Siakam. Joel Embiid. Jimmy Butler. I'm just helping you out. I mean, who is that player? Who is the could he be the next best player after the Greek Freak? Y'all help me out. Anthony Five, what you say? Stacey Houston on YouTube on us, Jimmy. We got to say hey to Stacey. Oh, we got to say hey. What up, Stacey? But Jimmy, I mean, what you got? Can you think of anybody?
Yeah.
Who?
Absolutely.
Who better than Tatum?
Right this season?
I'm talking about, yeah. Right now.
You can put an argument for Jimmy Butler in the East.
Okay.
You can. That's first and foremost. He comes right to mind. Siakam, you mentioned him just a while ago. He could be in the conversation.
So over Tatum. Jimmy?
No, I say he could be in the conversation.
Oh, in the conversation. Okay.
In the conversation.
Okay.
Guys have been. I'm definitely putting Jimmy Butler as far as what he's done with less talent around him. Right. Think about the all-stars that Miami don't have, and after then it started getting really thin. We're talking about winning programs. Okay. So Tatum is in that conversation. Is solid in there. He's in that threesome. That would be my threesome. Jimmy Butler, Tatum, Siakam. As far as the East, if you exclude the Greek Freak. As far as players who would be the best of the rest or the best performers. So let's not get into, you mentioned best player. I'm hoping you meant.
I just said who's number two. Whatever you call Greek Freak, who's number two behind Greek Freak? Whatever you call Greek Freak.
Well, hell, Greek Freak is both.
Okay, so who?
But all the time that ain't both. Best player.
So who? No. Who is number two? If Greek Freak's number one, who is number two?
In which, once again.
No. If he's number one, the number one player in the East, who's number two?
I'm looking at performer because the players are different things. Because then you have to include a Trae Young and a Bradley Beal in the conversation. But for best performer, that means all things factor in beyond the individual aspect. How are you generating wins? All those points in quality points, portions of the games. So that's what we look at in the goals. Now, trickle over to the West. Mm-hmm. Right?
Okay.
Trickle over to the West.
Okay.
So if you strip LeBron,
okay,
right? Strip Kawhi.
Okay.
And for the sake of strip LeBron, strip Kawhi, you can strip James Harden out of there.
Yeah.
Who's your three?
Right now. It's a good one. I gotta think about it. Definitely ain't AD, because he don't score. He be AWOL in the fourth quarter. Definitely is not him. Jimmy, I saw this thing this morning, and I want to.
Man, that's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Who?
Come on. You ain't named. You saying who is not? It's easy to come up with three. That's in the West.
I'm talking about right now, though.
You right now, Luka is definitely one. Doncic is one. Come on, that's an easy one.
Okay. Okay. All right. We can say Luka. Luka.
The Joker.
Okay. We can say the Joker. He
They in
winning.
second place. They in second
I know
place.
we can say the
And
Joker.
nobody is talking about the Denver Nuggets who won 40 games, by the way, already.
Yeah.
They won 40 already.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys understand.
And the Rockets is run 39. They're right on the tail. Yeah.
39 ain't 40. 39 ain't 40. Give me when they.
Boy, you gonna stop me to drinking. You gonna stop me to
drinking. Got something in that cup. You got something in that cup already. Now.
What? Now Sabonis? Heck no, Corey.
My next one.
Who?
Believe it or not.
Who?
My third. Remember I said Luka.
Mm-hmm.
I said Greek Freak. I mean, Joker.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook.
Oh, of course. Yes. Right now, the way he playing, and his production is equating to wins. That's a good one. I just hate to put both of my nephews in because y'all, when I get to talk about my nephews, y'all get a little sensitive about me. Until y'all favorite players become one of my nephews, then y'all all right. But that's all right. Keep going, Jim.
So that's we're just talking about NBA basketball, guys, and just throwing some stuff out there. Now, speaking of hoops, of course, the Rockets are not in action again until Saturday. They will play the Boston Celtics. How about let's go and shift gears and talk a little bit some NCAA basketball.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And NCAA sports. And first and foremost, how about Jerome Allen getting a 15-year, an unprecedented 15-year show clause penalty? Basically, that means you cannot work in the NCAA for at least 15 years. That's like getting probation. This guy getting parole. He's on parole for 15 years. He can't go and even after then, they would have to get a job. A potential employer would have to inform the NCAA and basically get permission even after that. So 15 years. Of course, he allegedly accepted $250,000 from a prospect's father, basically in exchange for
to train, recruit, and help ensure the player was admitted into an Ivy League school.
A walk-on spot.
Yeah.
But that's a glorified way of because they describe what he did, but basically he sold a walk-on slot for $250,000. Mm-hmm. And this comes at the heels, remember now, when you have the academic scandal which transpired, and 2 years ago, and many of the sentences have been handed out for most of those co-defendants. We have one in Houston, two in Houston that were indicted as a result of that, and one female, one male. And the female has yet to decide if she's going to stop fighting and going to trial, or if she's going to accept whatever deal on the table. The male has reportedly accepted been sentenced to 6 months in federal custody. So
what's going on with Fox in his situation?
That's the male.
I know. Do you know what's going on? Stacy just asked it. I popped it up on the screen here on the Facebook feed. His court deal. Do you know?
What I understand, Martin Fox got 6 months.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know when to report, when he's due to report, and because it's kind of tricky on this stuff sometimes. They can go and sentences. I've seen all type, especially in the federal. I've seen sentences where people can go and serve some here. Remember Caldwell Pope. Remember playing with the Lakers? That wasn't a federal case, mm-hmm. But remember he was able to go to jail like Andy Griffith. He can go to jail one day a week, come out and play for the Lakers in home games with the ankle monitor on about 3 seasons ago.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah. But he that's he might have better lawyers, Jim.
No, normally the federal government.
Jimmy, I think wasn't his like
his was state. I'm just saying it wasn't federal.
Yeah, okay.
So it's different, but I've seen federal sentences where Normally, when you get sentenced in the federal, they will give you a time to get your business in order, to get your things in order before you leave. So they give you like at least a month before you actually report. You get a report date. They tell you where you have to go, and you have to show up at that place on your own, or you can bring yourself to the local branch and check yourself in, and they will send you to where you need to be.
Jim, it's unique. I'm reading the article. Jerome Allen's punishment matches the longest show cause penalty ever levied against a coach by the NCAA. Because in July, former UNC Greensboro women's basketball coach Phil Collins was given a 15-year show cause penalty for betting on professional and college sports, including the school's men's basketball team. I thought it just wanted to add that they wasn't playing with Jerome Allen. But what's so unique, everybody, Jerome Allen is assistant coach now for the Boston Celtics. So yes, that don't affect him in the NBA, right, Jimmy?
Don't affect him. No, it don't affect him in the NBA at all.
Okay.
And another thing, speaking of affecting, and other news, how about Detroit Mercy, where Mike Davis is the head coach, and they were informed that due to the team's APR, their postseason ban will be extended.
Yes. Yeah.
So that means Antoine Davis and a couple other young fellows from Houston, Jamel Pink, and we have one young man from Bel Air, Coach Lucas's nephew. There are 3 kids from out of Houston are on that Detroit Mercy roster. They cannot play in the conference tournament, which I think it has like 10 teams that advance. Yeah. It would only be 9 now, and something like that.
And somebody told me they got a raw deal, Jimmy.
Well, it's a raw deal because of the fact that 2017, 2018 was the season that was the end of that span of the academics deficiencies from the program. Mm-hmm. That was one of the reasons the previous coach got removed. Well, now you have a different slew of players. So you're punishing these players for what happened to some other players and another coach. The system, when they enacted these rules, it was different and it was understood. But basketball has revolutionized itself so rapidly over the past 2 decades to the fact that the NCAA, that rule, that is unfair. That is totally unfair. So that means you're basically saying, if that's the case, get a damn school of death penalty. Because if people know they're going to be coming to this school under a new coach with a new regime, and he's got to go and sit in these living rooms and say everything is going to be all right. We're a new watch. We're going to do things the right way. We're going to try to, even we might take a few lumps at the beginning, but then you still going to suffer. And so the NCAA is saying, well, Detroit Mercy didn't even file an appeal. Well, hell. Come on now. You got to do the right thing in this situation. The team is not a winning team this season anyway. They're a sub 500 team. And so understand, it's not like they're they're likely to go to the dance.
Yeah.
But to go and give another team a bye, and it ain't even about a bye. It's about just letting them at least show the dignity to play in the postseason game in their conference.
Okay.
They're not going to the NIT. They're not going to the CEI, the CIA, whatever that other CBI. Mm-hmm. They're not going to none of those tournaments. So that's the funky thing, okay. And it just goes and it makes more fun, or it makes things more transparent of the NCAA and how they are rapidly behind the 8 ball when it comes to just logical and decisions to make that's beyond one, A plus B equals C. Come on, man. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Hey, but Jimmy, if you got anything else about, since we're talking about infractions, did you see what happened to Malik Monk? Charlotte Hornets guard Malik Monk has been suspended indefinitely, y'all, for without pay, Jimmy, without pay, for violating the NBA anti-drug problem. Let me tell you something, Jimmy. Malik Monk, Jimmy, to get caught in that NBA, you know what I always tell y'all, to get caught in this program in the NBA, they have one of the most liberal drug policies on the planet. They let you know when it's going to happen. When you get, like they talking about Bradley Beal got tested yesterday. Bradley Beal must have been in that program. Jimmy, they got a very lenient policy. For this dude to Jimmy, they said indefinitely. Definitely. I mean, man, you work, you know what? Think about it, Jimmy. If you say it's that, Jimmy, it might be something else. You said it's that.
Man, that boy lives purple. They ain't purple is beyond blue. It's on the way to black. Purple.
Hey, man. Hey, Jimmy. But think about it. I hate for people to get caught up with marijuana because it's legal in some states and people can smoke it. It's legal in some states, and you know, I find it hard to just believe it's just marijuana, and I know they can't tell us what's going on, but you know, it's just hard, Jimmy. That kid must be reckless. With whatever he's doing, he's very reckless with it because I know for a fact they try to work with those guys. So, but I just want to throw that in there. Speaking of infractions, and I think we just got a text, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you looked at it. It said NBA disputes Detroit's Mercy's account on the postseason ban. So it got to be some discrepancy there.
Yeah, because they're saying that Detroit Mercy didn't file an appeal. So you officially need to file an appeal before, and the reason that they're saying at the time elapsed for you to file your appeal. So that means judgment has been rendered. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it goes beyond it. Come on, this is silly. It's silly.
What's silly? Them not filing an appeal, or the people?
Well, both sides. I mean, we understand. Bottom line is this stuff, these infractions, happen under a different watch. And they have to find a way that if a coach gets hit with infractions while he's at a particular program, if and when he moves on, that new program, somehow that coach has to feel the wrath and the consequences of his choices. For example, North Carolina State was in the center of the recent NCAA trial, and remember you had Dennis Smith and North Carolina State and some money and Orlando Early name, who's in the NBA now, who sought refuge in the NBA as well. He's never coming back to the NCAA. So they would say, oh, you can't come back because we're gonna, but he's good. He has enough relationships to keep. But the head coach went over and took a job in California at another college. Why this stuff was going on up under your watch?
So his new college, are they suspended?
No, this coach he has no penalty to pay.
I got you then. Well, yeah.
This is the thing. Once again, under the NCAA, it just shows how crazy.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
So it's already one thing that if a grown person can go and guess what, people can have the right to take care of their families and make the decisions, but you go and you sit down in people's living room, you make them parents believe that you're in it for their babies, you're going to treat their babies like it's yours. Yeah. You're not going to leave them, and all of this mess. The first opportunity they come smoking, that's a pay raise, you're gone. Let's get this straight. In most cases, they're gone. And then the parents are sitting there like, and then you have another cult of just deranged people that want to believe that the kids are really picking the school. They're really picking the school. Sure, there may be some isolated situations. We're talking about big time Power 5 basketball. And for the mid levels on up, they're not just picking the school. The school is not primary. You can best believe that. The coach. If you think I'm joking, you wait and mark the day that Mike Krzyzewski is gone from Duke. And watch how the mystique of that program will never ever be the same. It's like it's never been the same at Indiana since Bobby Knight left.
Good point.
It would never. They'd still be good, but it would never be the same. The coaches. University of Houston has been sitting there forever in Houston, Texas. They've had about 5 coaches in a 12 to 13 year span. Right? But guess what? They had as many Houston kids on those rosters, on those other rosters as they do now. But now they're able to attract the local kids in recent years, which they did in the past. You know what I'm saying? They've had an Alton Ford. That was because of Clyde Drexler, right, was there and attracted an Alton Ford from a relationship with the people that had the most influence over Alton Ford and a George Walker. Remember, those other guys that came, it's like a G. Gervin, those were what they call legacy kids. You know, when your dad, you know, the dad is you're the son of the namesake, and those are what they call legacy kids. Relationships factor into those as well. Clyde Drexler's son came back and played in U of A. You guys didn't even know he was on the bench 5 years ago. Yeah, he played at U of H. Relationship. People are going to U of H right now because of 2 things. They're winning. Why are they winning? Because it starts at the head of the tree. Kevin Sampson implemented a culture. Mm-hmm. And he kept himself in the news, marketed. He was marketed properly, thanks to his daughter, who was definitely on the front line
Lauren
of his
Sampson
campaign. Remember now, Hurricane Harvey, you know, indirectly they utilized the Hurricane Harvey to morph that into a great marketing campaign. That ain't why they did it, but they just they chronicalized and visualized and showed videos of what they were doing during that span. And it warmed the hearts of thousands. So guess what now? Hey, that's Kevin Sampson, man. He all right. You know, it's good. You know, that's good. You know, that's them good people. It's like them. So now, when they come to recruit or they're in the gym, people ain't looking at them joking. University of Houston attire used to be you would just wear that stuff if you're cutting the yard. You wear that stuff if you're washing the car. They got that Jordan brand deal. Got the Jumpman on all this stuff now. That's because Kevin Sampson and his staff, they've created that. That was strategically done. Understand, that wasn't done by accident. But you got the win too now. They got teams getting their ass whooped that's wearing Jordan brand stuff. People ain't flocking to go there. This city now you can market the city to an outside recruit. You don't want to come to Houston, 4th largest city in the country. You got all type of. We're one of the food capitals of America. I don't think people notice that.
Kids don't care about no food.
No, they don't, but their parents do. And you got to win the parent over when you do those home visits. Those home visits is when you win the parent over. Campus visits, you win the kid over. Remember that. The official visit, you win the kid. But in the home visit, you win the parent. That's something to think about in regards to that.
Doug Smith, I think back a few minutes ago, Stacey's on the YouTube page. He said you had a great point, Jug. He said they're definitely not here to be students. They don't even eat with the students. I guess
Say
that's
it again.
I guess that's what he was talking about, and we missed it. And
Say it again.
Doug, he was talking about the student athletes. They're not there to be students. They don't even eat with the students. I think that was Doug Jones.
Yeah, you're right. They do. They normally eat separately because they're standing in line component. Yeah, and that's a lot of colleges are like.
Oh
that.
yeah.
They have their own time to go and eat in the cab,
and then they have their own places to eat.
And some schools have the budgets where they have their own chefs.
You remember I was telling you about Memphis? I was up there for a week. It was a chef came and cooked for them boys every day after practice. So yes, it's different.
Now, Coach King Sticks over on the YouTube
What
feed.
Sticks
You
say?
guys, if you're just tuning in to the Chop Shop, we are streaming simultaneously on both Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you share the show, especially if you're on the YouTube page. I mean, and the Facebook page. Share the show to your timelines and to your friends. And now he asked a question: What happened to Billy Preston's mom? Well, as far as I know, she was not indicted in any of this stuff. So what happened to her is that, I mean, nothing. What was supposed to happen to her? I mean, so she's okay, Miss Nicole.
Yeah.
But so that's so nothing. Now Billy Preston, I think from last I heard, he was playing in the G League.
Yes.
And getting a check. But and it's like none others. Guess what? Even with this stuff, the thing was there was a raw deal for him that he never got to play college ball after the sacrifice. Think about this. Had Billy Preston not even enrolled in Kansas and still just took the bag, everything would have been okay. Think about how this stuff goes, how it works.
Let's say it again.
If he just would have took the bag and just went on and not never went to college, and everybody would have swept it under the rug. See, that's what a lot of the cases came from, because you defrauded. You took a scholarship and you signed the scholarship papers, and that money, that means you defrauded the public funds, because they took you and you were already deemed no longer an amateur after the investigation. But she doing good, man.
That's good. And I want to ask the question, Jimmy. I put a question up there for you. Todd asked it a little way back, and I wrote it down. He just said, "Ask Jimmy about what are we thinking about the one transfer rule that everybody's thinking about passing now, the one-time transfer rule. Have we talked about it on the show? Briefly, we glazed over it
last week, and I'll explain to you again. The NCAA is expected during the Final Four, when they have their meetings, they are expected to approve legislation which will enact starting next school term in fall 2020. All student athletes will be allowed to transfer one time without sitting out in the Division I ranks. So they got to fine tune it and make sure. Remember, in some sports, it's already in effect. It's only five sports that rule does not cover right now, which already was a discrepancy. How the hell can we be all under the NCAA, but this sport, they can transfer and play immediately, but my sport, I can transfer and I must go through a waiver process. I must do this and do that. That was already tainted, because most of the sports that are allowed to do it are in NCAA are the major revenue driving sports, which are predominantly played by minority student athletes, aka blacks. Extract the hockey component. And of course, so now we go to the Boomer Room, see what you guys got up in there. Shout out to Chuck McCowan, Rodney Rashad. I see you, Marvin Singleton. And no. Marvin, I don't know if you ain't talking about, you might be talking about Memphis with the barbecue. Say the food is trash. Houston has some good food across the board. Meaning, whatever you like, Certain cities you go and they specialize in one thing. Houston got we got Cajun,
Yeah.
we got Mexican
It's
food.
diverse, very diverse.
If you want some reggae hut, we got that.
Some turkey leg hut.
I'm just saying, you got soul food, and every city has soul food, but we have, I mean, Houston has it. Whatever you like. And that's the thing about it. And you ain't bundled on top of everybody to go and get it. That's one of the things people like about Houston. Yeah, you got to drive here and there's a lot of acreage, a lot of mileage, I'm sorry. I think roughly Greater Houston is approximately 900 and something square miles. 900 and something square miles in Greater Houston. Lot of ground to cover. Anyway, let's get on and what's some of the questions you guys got? I want to address some of your
And Jimmy, I got a couple of tweets that I saw was interesting.
You want to back nine? It's time for the mailbag, baby. Let's get the mailbag going.
I saw a couple of tweets. And Herb, I remember Herb. You was right, Herb. I remember. I had to agree with you on that one, Herb.
On which part?
Herb, the code charged Herb up, talking about Herb didn't know what he was talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. And Herb did know what he was talking about. So I remember that. I remembered it distinctively. Yeah, because she called looking for your number. Yeah, but Jimmy, I got something, man. It's kind of weird. I got a couple of things. I pulled them out the tweets, and Jimmy, I screenshotted them, and shortened them down and put them in my notes. One of them was, one thing I can say, this coach said, I never asked a black event director for a discount for my team to play. And if he offered one, I still paid the normal amount. It's called support.
Okay.
I thought that was unique. Coach said that. So then we got another one. This dude said, I just had to scratch a kid. This is a coach. I just had to scratch a kid off our list after watching him quit. Y'all got to realize we in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. After watching him quit on his team with time left in the game. He literally took his jersey off during the timeout before he got to the huddle, sat on the bench, took his shoes off, then left. Sad, because he could really play. Shaking my head. So guess what? Another coach came back in a rebut to this coach. Said, Coach, he's competitive. Maybe the culture of his team hasn't taught him that's not acceptable. Some kids have been taught how to conduct themselves when things haven't been taught how to conduct themselves when things don't go their way. That's something that is easily correctable. Give him a chance. Talk to the kid. What do y'all think about that?
Give him a chance. Everybody understand. You have choices and you have consequences. I've said it all the time. When a lot of these times when these young people and you're playing games, those are auditions for pretty much relatively everybody on the court. So if you're in the middle of having an audition, if many people would approach their games of such, somebody at the high school level, in the scholastic setting, even in the non-scholastic setting, we're talking about scholastic as for your example. Those are with their high school teams. They are auditions. I'll give you, for example, last week the high school regular season concluded at most of the public schools around the state of Texas. Well, this week, pretty much all of those districts will have what they call meetings, post-district meetings, which is required to be attended by all of the coaches in that particular district. Some may do a conference call, some meet in person, depending on the logistics. Well, what they do in those meetings, they vote on the coach of the year. They vote on the all district first team, second team, honorable mentions, newcomer of the year, and all of that stuff. So we'll go and some districts have, sportsman of the year or whatnot. Well, based on those votes are based on a coach when he played against your son in district play, he's thinking about his game against you. What you did when he played you, it's heavily weighs. Now they're gonna factor in other stuff. If a kid scored 30 or 40 and they wasn't there, because they were playing the same night somewhere else. But it will affect that because you can't, that's human nature. So that means when you're playing that coach remembers the player who was cordial, their coach remembers the guy who didn't run by his bench using profane language. Mm-hmm. That factors in because that coach gonna say that's a knucklehead. You know how they do us. Mm-hmm. And that would be the difference why your kid don't get voted first team or don't get certain votes from that particular coach. Because know why? You were on an addition. You were additioning your skills. If I'm watching the game from afar, if a college coach is watching the game from afar, they are only going to remember at that moment until they see you again, they will remember the last thing that you did. That's how it goes. So then what happened is your people say, oh, that's the real him. That wasn't the real, he was just, you saw him on a bad day. He had this going on, that going on. The people that's watching, not gonna care about that. Because know what the coach gonna say? I can't take this kid to my boss. I cannot recommend this kid to my boss. And as a college coach. About a college coach, I'm gonna get fired. So that's the thing. Everybody have to understand or strive to understand that this time of the year, Adam, mm-hmm. every time a team loses or is eliminated, mm-hmm. that's the end of a high school career for at least one or more likely of their students on that varsity team. Mm-hmm. That high school career is over. That's it. So the agony of defeat, the emotions are going to set in. That's why you're likely to see people crying after every playoff loss. Mm-hmm. You're going to see that. Snot is going to be slung everywhere. because everything's set in. I watched a young man the other night, Memorial High School.
He said snot.
He was getting it in. Ethan Thomas. He signed with Air Force. He had a monster game. After the game over with, man, that kid was, he just hit the tunnel. And you feel sorry, especially when a kid balls out in that last game. And, and end up coming up on the short end of the stick. But my thing is, my reason I brought this topic up is to share with you guys about something very important. Because this is the time right now, as 12th graders, boy, I'm glad I strive to try to learn different things every year about this stuff. And I did not realize that so many people prey on the 12th graders. Prey, prey on 12th graders at this point of their careers. Because here's what they do now. You're unsigned senior, your high school career is over. Come on and play in my unsigned senior showcase. Give me $300. We're going to have all the coaches going to be there. And a parent that has the disposable income will say, well, hell, I can gamble either $300 for this opportunity, to get a college scholarship, and that's a job a good investment. Let me warn you guys, do your homework before paying or responding to these solicitations to play in unsigned senior events. I'm telling you, I've had about 4 high school coaches this week around the Houston area that's asked me about a same camp that's taking place It's going to be taking place somewhere in Texas. And what they do is people wonder, I think you guys, they play on your emotions because you don't realize, you think they really know who your son is. Just because his name is on the top of the letterhead. They make him feel like he's special. You know, you've been identified as one of the top players in your city. They've been sleeping on you. You know, come on over here. We're going to, you know, we got this going on. And it's like, I'm glad. And I thank a lot of the high school coaches in the area who reached out to ask me for the validity. No, they asked me, Jim, have you heard of this camp before? Do you know who these guys are? And most of the time, if a name is not on the paperwork, mind you, a name.
What you mean a name?
I mean the name of the person who's the operator, the director of the event.
Okay.
That don't mean don't go to it. That's a red flag. Because nobody want to put their name on something that may not be good. You follow me? If it was great, they put their name on that thing, right? Understand, do not fall for okie dokes. There will be some unsigned singers. Some of them are very good. And you want to find out who's conducting it.
You wouldn't have a list of them, would you, Jimmy?
No, I don't have a list of them. I know that one is going to be coming up. I think one of the guys. And see, here's the thing: when I look, I only can know in my network, like a former college coach is going to host one in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Once again, he's a former college coach.
Okay.
That means he's expected to have some type of network of allies in the coaching ranks who can come and support his event by showing their face, gracing it with their presence, right? He should. So this guy, Russ Van Landenham, he has one coming, I think, the first weekend in March. I don't know how much it is, but I do know he has one. And that one, based on him, I know he has a network of people. And that means, because some people, and one thing I know like his camp that he has coming up is that he's not taking anybody. So I like those types of unsigned senior camp. That's like the one we're doing with RCS Sports. We're conducting an unsigned senior, our annual, we do it every year, an unsigned senior showcase. That's March the 20th and the 21st. It's going to start that Friday evening from like 6 to 10. 5 to 10, something like that. Then they'll go from Saturday morning, mid-morning, and wrap it up. But that one, it's not for anybody. If you didn't make all district, if you're not ranked right now by RCS Sports, and you don't meet either one or both of those criteria, you don't, this ain't for you. It's not. It's not. That don't mean you can't get in, but you have to wait and come as a walk-on. You know, you're more about the fact, you know, you ever rode an airplane with a buddy pass? You have to ride a buddy pass on this one.
Well, you got to wait. You got to wait to see if can't nobody come in.
Yeah. And we only take 64 kids, have 8 teams with 8 players on each one.
Hey, man, look at Miss Mindy Collins. She on both. She going on both. She on YouTube and she's on Facebook, man. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. She said, we really have to teach our young men how to conduct themselves out in the real world.
I mean, yeah, you do.
But Jimmy, that's unique. So what you saying? If you have a doubt, somebody send you one of these emails, it's okay to contact you just to see that you know. It's so in 2020 here on is no excuse if a person is watching the Chop Shop or sharing it with their friends. There's no excuse for somebody not to be able to know you shouldn't be getting got like that again. You follow me?
No, you should not be.
Okay.
You should not be. And the grown folks should not be letting their loved ones get got like that. The ones that aren't on the show and aren't able to watch right now. That's what I'm saying. People, these understand how do they get your names? Easy. They get your names by looking on from different places, social media, Max Preps, the team that has stats. You can go and get some little young person to go and find me every guy that's leading the team and leaders in rebounds, leaders in scoring, and that's a senior. And you get that email or mail the paperwork to the high school head coach. That's a published address.
And Jimmy, and some of these kids, you know what I done found out? Some of these kids, they be so strong, so high strong and be so like when they make a mistake, are they embarrassed? Because what happens, social media, Jimmy, has lifted them up so much. When they have a little failure or adversity in basketball, and people can see it, Jimmy, they get a little wound up. No excuse, but they don't understand, dude. That social media is fake, man. That's fake news. I mean that stuff ain't real. Young people, that shirt, that stuff ain't real. Flo talking about that's a nice mob shirt. Hey, that shirt ain't, that stuff, I'm still talking about, that stuff ain't real, people. So we got to sit down, Jimmy. That's why when I talk this social media, dude, yes, you got so many followers. Dude, them folks ain't really thinking about you. They just trying to get in your business. They just trying to see what you're going to do and see if you do something stupid so they control you. So that's what, Jimmy, I found it. Some of these kids, like let's say a coach get on them and they got a few Facebook followers. They got a few fans in the stands. Oh, man, I'm taking my shirt. Jimmy, I've never liked to see a kid take his shirt off and go kick his shoes off on the bench. I think that's the most disrespectful stuff. I think that's the most disrespectful stuff in the world. Don't do that, kids. Tell them kids, don't do that. Because guys like Jimmy looking, guys like Marcus Sloan looking, we watch that, man. And I know everything. Let me tell you something. Jimmy, you can be dead right. The kid can be right. Like everything. But when you show me you do that, man, all your right went out the window. So that's my advice, Jimmy. These playoffs are intense. Intense environment. And they start tonight, Jimmy, this second round. One team gonna win and one team is gonna lose. Parents, Jimmy talking about the snot. Jimmy, I got some snot on my shirt from my son. He cry every damn year. He cry every year. But I'll never forget, y'all. And this what drives me to help y'all as parents. As a the sophomore year, Westside get to the playoffs. Playoffs to win. They went up against Morton Ranch, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Harmon. And Mike Harmon played against him, 10th grader. They lost the game. That kid came out of that dressing room. I'll never forget this, y'all. Came out that dressing room, didn't want to talk to nobody, came straight to me and just got on my shoulder and started crying. And guess what my 15-year-old son told me? He said, Dad, you don't know what I had to go through this year on this basketball day. You don't know the things that I've been through this year. As a sophomore coming and starting, and you got seniors bothering you and hating you. You out there doing an interview as a 10th grader. You walk back in the in the dressing room where your teammates, after y'all have a win, and one of your seniors on your team talking about, man, y'all think that MF is a superstar. F that ninja. And you walk back in there and hear one of your senior leaders saying that about you. Hey man, I tell people, man, that's why I have this affinity to help any kid and every parent. Because I saw what my baby went through, man. Year after year. I told you about the whole team's tennis shoes. The parents never said thank you. But that's why I always on the side of the parents and the kids. Because Jimmy talking about that snot, I had a lot of snot on my show. Because he was a 10th grader, and he was crying. He was a 10th grader, Jimmy. He cried in the 11th grade. He didn't cry so much in the 12th grade. The 12th grade, he was a little more cooler. I guess he had a couple of girls around there somewhere. He couldn't cry. But, that's what, hey man, enjoy this weekend. Enjoy your kids this weekend. Parents, I'm serious. Go with a frame of mind that you can help. Your kid gonna need you. They don't need you crazy and mad, and if something happened, they gonna need you this weekend. So that's my advice, being a parent, Jimmy, and have to go through this stuff. And your kid don't tell you the whole season, but break down and cry and say, you don't know the things that I've been through on this team. The ridicule, being a sophomore and starting and leading my team and stuff, Dad, it was hard. So, my advice to the parents, hey, guess what? And it worked out for them. Guess what? I didn't say nothing, Jimmy. Sometimes, parent, you don't have to say nothing. Just be there and listen. So, I just like to share that with Jimmy today, man. What else you got?
Oh man, that you're preaching to them, and it's
crazy.
It's so many things out there, man. To give a shout out to you guys, and thanks to you guys that are on the YouTube feed right now. Once again, we're streaming live YouTube as well as Facebook. And shout out to Otha Brown. He says, speak on it. D1 Hornet said, loving this YouTube. I can multitask on my phone and still watch. I can't do that on Facebook. And Todd Barley says, of the D1, he says that those are facts. They're talking about being able to multitask while watching the Chop Shop. And also, Todd asked, where's the RCS Sports Unsigned Senior Showcase going to be?
Okay.
It is going to be held at Harvest Time Church, which is in the shadows nearby, not far from the MI3 Center. So Harvest Time Church, that's where it was last year. And the coaches liked that because they could sit on that baseline and watch both courts.
Okay.
It was an intimate setting, and the games, so that's if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we're just want to improve it, and that's what we're going to do. And I think invites have started going out last week. We start reaching out to some of the players. If you have an unsigned senior who led his team in something or was a starter that you think, understand now.
That man said led his team in something. Man, you don't even be listening how you be talking sometimes. Led his team in something.
Led his team in something. Then he has a chance to play in this. Remember, we're only taking 64 players. And this thing last year, once again, that's why I encourage you guys, do your homework. Do your homework. That way you could see if you're investing your money properly. The thing about our unsigned senior showcase is we strive to always be the most economically favorable unsigned senior showcase that you're going to probably get. We're only $60. $60. Mm-hmm. That's for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And we providing a uniform in Jersey. $60.
All you got to do is show up and show out.
And coaches are going to be there. Why? Because coaches have been there. It has a pattern that's created. The platform has attracted about 24 colleges each of the past 2 years. So that means guess what? All you need is one.
That's all, Jimmy.
All you need is one. And last year, you know, we did on
Jimmy, is it a price for the spectators?
Yeah, that ticket to get you in there gets you into the icebreaker as well. So I don't know. So that means that ticket, you can get that band and go into the icebreaker.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's what we make it.
I like
that.
I like that.
Because it's part of the icebreaker.
Okay.
It's a different division.
Jimmy.
So
I got a question. I mean, if you want to finish on that, go and expound on that. Because it might be something new. So the ticket, so if you pay for an icebreaker ticket, it'll get you in this event.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But I got a question. I saw something, and y'all got to know this must be profound to me, because I never quote something that Marcus Sloan tweets. But he said something real. Check this out, Jim. He said, imagine, he messed up a little grammar in there, but I get that right. He said, imagine being in a district where the number 2 team and the number 3 team, ranked team in the state, both reside, and a coin flip, and the coin flip loser has to play the number 7th ranked team in the state
in the second round.
In the second round. He said second wood. He messed up. I'm sorry, Sloan. In the second round of playoff. He must be talking about Hightower in Wichita. He said, imagine, because he was just talking about the potency of Region 3. Because I think he was going back and forth with the Dallas guys, with Glenn. But I never thought about it like that. How does stuff like that happen, Jimmy? Just the way? How does that happen? Why wouldn't one of these guys be over there in the bracket with since they're all Region 3 with Crosby in that bracket?
Yeah, Crosby's in Region 3 as well.
Yeah, but why wouldn't one of these two teams, why these two top teams in the state are meeting each other so quickly instead of, it's just the way how they put it?
Well, remember now.
See, I don't know.
Understand something.
Uh-huh.
When the UIL establishes and aligns the districts, the first thing that comes into play is football, attendance, and geographics.
Okay.
So they're not thinking about, because some teams are going to be great in football. Some districts are going to like they stacked in football, and then others would like they stacked in basketball, and some will be stacked in soccer. So and it just varies per sport. But in this situation, it wasn't about they do it every 2 years. They do in every 2-year intervals. The UIL realigns the districts. As a matter of fact, Shadow Creek, who's in the district with Hightower right now, will be going and leaving that district and going to a district next year, starting next term, along with the A-Leaf ISD and the Pearland ISD. So Alvin ISD, which includes Alvin High School and Shadow Creek, Manville is going to stay 5A. But they're going to go into a district with A-Leaf Elkins, A-Leaf Hastings, A-Leaf Taylor. And also Pearland, Dawson, and they threw in straight Jesuit to punish them. They always punish them, put them in for football purposes, because that district, Pearland, is always, and Dawson is always going to be fire in football. Shadow Creek just won state in football, right? So that's think about that district for football purposes. Remember, straight Jesuit had the running back this year going to Texas in baseball, the little Campbell kid. Now he's gone, but now back to the why they aligned.
No, it's okay. I just taught. I mean, Sloan. It just made me think about it when he said it. Hey, it's just the way, like Doug said, it's just the way it's set up.
Yeah, it's just the way, and they set the districts up by numbers. So if you ever wanted to know why a certain team is playing another team in the first round, district. Let's say if you're in district,
and we're talking about this year too, Jimmy, because people on there running their mouth about something. We talking about this year. We ain't talking about last year. Sloan say he talking about this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this year, right now.
Okay.
So in districts, let's say if you're in District 17, 6A, then you're going to probably be matched up with District 18 in the first round. That means District 19 would play District 20 in the first round. District 20 would play District 21 in the first.
I got you.
That if a lot of people really don't just pay attention to that's how it's set up. And of course, the team that comes in first place will be on the opposite. The team that comes in fourth place will normally be in the same pod or quad with that team. Team that come in second place will be on the opposite side of the bracket. So whatever teams come in first or in second in their respective districts will be on opposite side of the brackets, meaning they will not be able to meet each other unless they are in the championship. And that's in the UIL brackets I'm talking about. So that's a good question. But yes, Region 3 is stacked this year.
It's cool.
As far as
it's cool. I kind of like it, cause if both of them that good, they're gonna play each other anyway. So it's all right. Just like in the playoffs in the NBA, sometimes you're gonna get a favorable matchup early in the thing. So it's all good. But I'm just what he was just. I think what Sloan was talking about. He said, imagine the potency of that district, and you win the district, and you rank number 2 in the country, and you wind up doing it. That's all he was saying. I mean, y'all something else. What up? I'm putting the starting 5 up there right now, Jimmy, because the businessman, our resident producer, he told me how to put the starting 5 up there, and he ain't even one of them.
Now, I want to remind you, speaking of the starting 5, I want to remind you guys and yesterday we promised you guys that we are going to start a trend, but we're actually going to start it on Monday. But right now, for the sake of enjoyment, we'll provide it to you. And that's the list. Every day we have the analytics on this new software that we're using that's enabling us to go and stream on multiple platforms at the same time. That's once again, we're able to identify and acknowledge the person who has the most comments each day. So what we do is, let's say on today is Thursday, we want to be able to acknowledge that person or those persons until Monday. But today we forgot we got to get in shape and just create a new habit of being able to inform you guys. We're going to do this at the top of each show.
Okay.
Right? Within 4 or 5 minutes of coming on the air, we're going to start letting you know. So without further ado, I want to acknowledge the 5 how you call it, greatest commenters.
They call the top chatterers. The metrics call them the top chatterers.
Chatters.
Yeah.
Like hatters, they kin to you.
Yeah.
And first, we go to 5th place yesterday was Todd Holmes. He made 24 comments during the show. Clarence Harris had 43 comments. Odyssey Williams had 49 comments.
Jimmy.
Kevin Freidman had 51 comments. And the winner from yesterday was Melvin Dews with 53 comments. Shout out to all you guys for keeping the boom boom room rocking, as well as the YouTube, because it keeps tab on that as well.
But Jimmy, we got another metric in there. And I'm finna choke y'all too. Because guess what? They got another metric called popular phrases that are being said. They got the analytics on what phrases. I'm not going to even tell y'all. But you is one of the most popular names used. But Jimmy, guess I don't even want to tell them. Y'all been using my last name a whole lot. Because, Jimmy, I'm going to turn it around and show it to you. I'm going to put it to the camera. You see that name up there? You see the big letters? Those are the popular. I said, man, y'all crazy on this air. I am loving this stream, man. I thank y'all so much that but we proud of it. So Jimmy, where else we going? The starting five is up on the table. And let's guess what? Freightman says snot gonna be one, because you remember, Jimmy, it's gonna be a lot of, you said earlier it's gonna be a lot of snot coming out.
It's not gonna be slanging. It's gonna be slanging all over the place.
Yes, but hey, thank y'all so much, man. Thank y'all.
And also we're back to the high school.
Let's go.
And we're talking about the Region 3. Understand?
Okay.
The rankings that they get derived from the TABC is a continuing evaluation or continuing allotment of the teams based on their progress from 1 week to the next. So now we are at the end, and there are a lot of great teams in 6A that are ranked among the top 12. We have 5 teams from Region 3 that are among the top 12. So this means in all of those 5, only 1 will advance to state. And guess what? No matter how these numbers are crunched, every year somebody's going to have the most teams from their region. It just be so funny that when you acknowledge the number 1 seed is Duncanville.
Okay. In the whole thing?
They're the number 1. Well, understand. Well, they're the favorite.
Okay.
They're not the number 1 seed, so to speak. How the seeding works is by the wins and loss, the loss record. Remember that. But you guys understand how this stuff goes. When each person that, just say if Duncanville won their region, let's say Austin Westlake wins their region, right? Well, Austin Westlake has only lost 1 game this year. So Austin Westlake will be the number 1 seed. That's how the UIL does it. They base it on seeds. They take the team with the most wins and the team with the least wins. And those 2 teams will likely play each other. And I've seen them tinker with it a time or two, rarely, but that's the general rule of thumb that they use. And yeah. But y'all don't forget nothing on the.
But hey, this boom room. Hey, that Sloan, man. I just don't know what to say about it, man. And Clarence Harris, Jimmy, Clarence Harris ain't got but 1 team. It's Shadow Creek, like what's that word they be saying? It's Shadow Creek over everybody.
So what we do?
What we got?
By popular demand for you guys, because I don't think you guys can. Yeah, I think you guys may have lost faith and don't realize that we can do this.
What?
We just don't do this.
You want to take a call, Jim?
And we could take calls.
Take a call, Jimbo. I don't know what they.
I'm gonna put the number on the screen. I mean, we
put the number. Tell me the number so I can put it on the screen.
832.
Hold on. Let me get to my typing.
That number on there is 832.
Okay. 832.
264.
264.
1500.
1500.
832 264 1500 is the number to the hotline. And you guys can call right in. We can continue the conversation about the high school and how to I think Sloan had
I ain't thinking about Sloan.
Favre had a question. He asked, did any other team from Houston win a Dallas tournament aside from Hightower? Well,
Hightower didn't win a tournament, did he? Was that a tournament? Or they just beat?
Atascocita.
Yeah, I don't remember winning a tournament.
Dickinson is the one that won the tournament. I'm sorry. Dickinson is the team that won the tournament.
There we go.
We're going to get you guys on here. Don't panic. Don't panic. We get you guys on the chop shop. and don't panic. We get you guys on this chop shop right in a second. Hold on. We dropped one of the callers. If you guys can call back.
Call back.
And we get you on here. We get you on. That ain't no problem. You guys want to talk? I understand that.
Yeah. Come on.
Just come on with it.
Come on with it. Come on, Cletus.
What's that number? You got the number on the screen
Yes,
now?
sir. You see it at 832 264 1500. That's an easy one there.
Yeah, that's why we got that number for the hotline. It don't get much easier than that.
I mean, who
And
got some? Who got some? Oh, Melvin
now,
said he can't talk. He in job train. Okay. Yeah, I just want to know. Hold up, Jimmy. Why we messing around? Jimmy, Jimmy, I didn't. You said you was gonna talk about another region. You remember somebody asked you about another region that covers some of our kids in this city. You know, I'm not. You remember yesterday, and you said you'll go over another region that covers some of our kids.
yes, that's Region 2. And you know, Region 2, that's the region that has Westfield and all those guys in it.
Okay.
So once again, you guys, we got the phone lines open on the Chop Shop. You guys can call in and share your thoughts on any of the things that we're talking about. Meanwhile, I want to give a shout out to Westfield,
Okay.
who beat the Woodlands 55. Here we go. We're gonna get you guys on that. I know you guys want y'all stand me up. And we're gonna show you how we do this thing.
Hey man, don't y'all call Mr. Katie, man, please.
Welcome to the Chop Shop. Who we got on this? What city you calling from? What's your name?
Houston, it's the businessman.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
That's what I'm talking about.
What's going on with it? What's happening? I want to know about the Class 4A and Class 5A high school playoff game. Yates versus Hardin Jefferson and Lumberton versus Lamarck. And in 5A, Northside versus Crosby and Hightower versus Port Arthur Memorial. What I want to know is, what's your prediction on the games? Who's going to win?
Well, the first is the Yates game. Yates and Hardin Jefferson. And Hardin Jefferson team, they play tonight, 6 p.m. at Kingwood Park High School.
Okay.
Kingwood Park. Remember, both teams have played there before a year ago in the playoffs. So they're no strangers to the confines of the facility. I'm picking Yates is the favorite. And the thing is, I'm thinking Hardin Jefferson to come in there and to make this thing close for a little while. Because it very well could be a situation that Yates could be looking over Hardin Jefferson and looking at Lamarck. See, this year Yates ain't looking at Silsby so much. They want Lamarck. But if you want, just a year ago, Lamarck wanted Yates. And guess what happened to Lamarck? Booker T. Washington hit him dead in the nose, got upset in the second round. I'm not saying it's going to happen to Yates. I'm saying Hardin Jefferson, the referees from this game will be outside of the region. That means because Hardin Jefferson is down in Southeast Texas, Yates is, of course, used a lot of the Houston chapter. I'm expecting a chapter of refs from one of the either San Antonio region or another region. I'm picking Yates by double digits in this game. And matter of fact, I have them listed on the front of the website. I'm picking Yates by 21 at the end of this game. Now, as far as another game you mentioned the Crosby game, and Crosby, who's Crosby playing again? Northside. That's going to be a good game. That game is on Friday, right? It's not tonight. But I'm going to tell you, Friday. I'm telling you right now, seriously, have you seen Northside play?
Hell yeah.
Northside.
I cover the sports.
Northside beat Madison, put it like that, this year. Northside beat Sharpstown this year. Northside, they very well coach Brian Sheldon from Clearbrook High School back in like 2001. Went to play at U of H back in the days. This team can very well beat this Crosby team. It would take a 30-point game from P.J. Haggerty for Crosby to beat the Northside team tomorrow night in that game. So I'm picking Northside. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many points yet. That'll be on the website on RCS Sports tomorrow. And what's the next game? You had two games real quick.
Hightower versus Port Arthur Memorial.
Hightower, Port Arthur Memorial. In this game right there, of course, that game's going to be played Friday, 7 p.m. at LaPorte High School. And I know Doug Jones is going to be covering that game. Me, myself, I plan to go and watch the girls' showdown on Friday between Side Creek and Summer Creek out in the Katy at the Merrill Center. However, I wish I could be at that Port Memorial Hightower game, but I'm picking right now. I'm saying that Hightower should win this game by 4. By 4.
What you say?
Hightower has the guard play that's far superior. That Paul Memorial has the best front court in 5A in this region, right? That's
Hey, Robert had no hot for the phone calls. I can't see the screen, brother.
I'm sorry, businessman. Guess what happened? I saw the True Green guy coming in, and I didn't want him to ring the bell so he could and make no noise. So I went out to meet him, told him to shut up so he can go, the True Green guy to do stuff in your yard. So now I'm back, Jimmy. What you said about Hightower? No, I'm just messing with you.
Northside eat Crosby's lunch. How about Northside eat Hightower for dinner? How you feel about that, brother?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, those two teams, the two winners would match in the following in the third round. That's what he's saying, Adam. Whoever wins Northside and Crosby, which Northside right now, even both teams actually won their district. However, Northside lost the flip, and they're the second seed. So they're the runner-up, but they finished tied for first with Madison. And I want to remind you guys on that point. These are two teams that won their district, Crosby and, of course, Northside. That district that Crosby won, that had Texas City, and had Galveston Ball, and among the top teams in that district. What he's asking you, Heather, what are your thoughts if Hightower wins and Northside wins? Can Hightower beat Northside?
Man, let me tell you something. I don't even know who Northside is.
Oh boy,
I don't know, Jimmy.
You about to find out,
Jimmy. Listen, wait a minute. Do you want me to give you the truth? I never seen Northside. I can't tell you where Northside is. Okay, I can't. I don't. All I would know is on the north side. But matter of fact,
we're gonna bet some Memphis and Texas barbecue on it. How about that?
I got a question. Where is Northside? A businessman. Where is it?
Quitman Street.
Quitman.
Fifth Ward area.
Yeah, on the back end of Fifth Ward.
Oh, okay. Hey, let me tell you something. You better get past PJ Haggerty first before you can ever talking about messing with that monster out there on Hurricane Drive. That's all I got to say. And furthermore, I don't look ahead to games.
This is confidential as best I can put it. I already put the fly on the wall, put the plug in the air on number 5 on that north side. That's all I can say.
Number 5 for north side, huh? That's who you said.
5 north side.
Okay.
Appreciate this, man. Thanks a bunch for the call.
Thank you, baby.
All right. Now, of course, the phone line up there. You guys, by Pop Man, you wanted the phone line. We told you we have them on Friday. on Baby Friday. We got it. 832-264-1500. That's the number you guys call right in. Share your thoughts. The Chop Shop. Guess what, guys? We only can get better from the day. And this thing, you guys see it. Ain't nothing like the Chop Shop. Ain't nothing like the Chop Shop. Think about it. Consistency is the key. You understand how hard it is to be able to talk for 2 hours about various aspects of sports?
It's crazy.
2 hours at a time?
Yeah.
Understand. And on the Facebook feed and on the YouTube feed, there's no commercials. That means there's nobody doing this, running this long in continuation. Now, we're on the radio for 3.5 years. And understand, for those that didn't get this show, you understand, we're still affiliated with 101.5 FM in Houston. However, we chose to make a conscious decision to where the reach wasn't strong enough for you guys. Remember, we would be in the studio and the internet capability would drop the shows. So that means we were conflicted with, wait a minute, do we stay here and try to build and cater to the people on the radio driving in their cars, or do we pull back and go and try to strengthen you guys, which we have more control over this? It's kind of like in the music business. We control our masters with this.
I like that, Jimmy.
That's what we decide to do.
Hey, Jimmy, guess what we call it? Our intellectual property.
Intellectual property. You're absolutely right. And so now we got some more questions in the Boomer Room, and I'm gonna try to address all your questions, guys, while we on the air. And say I want to know, Ricky Scott, I want to know if Greg Wise is going to shoot for Monday or Tuesday next week. I can answer you right now. Greg Wise is going to flip for Monday. He's going to
we got another call.
Yeah, and so we go to the lines right now, and we get you guys on there. Welcome to the Chop Shop. Who's calling? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, you got to get off that cricket, Doc.
I don't know who it is. Welcome to the Chop Shop. Who's calling?
V. Marcus Sloan.
Jimmy, hang it up.
Shipley's at the door. Let him in.
Hang it up, Jimbo.
People always DMing me and texting me, why you don't talk about Yates, Sloan? Why you don't talk about Yates?
Okay.
Listen, I told Yates fans we're not talking about Yates until they get to San Antonio and play Faith and Family in the state championship game. The teams in Region 3, it's a better chance of Hatter Halline going back than beating Yates in the 4A playoffs.
Hey, I'm going to leave him alone, man. Leave him alone.
If Yates wins tonight, combined with Lamarck, of course, Yates plays tonight against Hardin Jefferson. And on Friday, Lamarck will play against Lumberton at 6:30 at East Chambers High School. The two winners will play each other and of course, Lamarck is probably going to flip for Tuesday. Yates is going to flip for Monday. I can assure you guys that. Matter of fact, Yates is prepared to flip for everything.
I like the kid. Matter of fact, I love the kid Jordan Arbitrary. I think Lamarck is a good team this year. They just won't be able to be Yates. Like Yates is thinking about one goal only, and that's to win the state championship. And I don't think anybody in the city in our region can get in their way. And as good as Jordan Arbitrary is, he's a Guy Lewis Award finalist. He arguably already Houston first team. I think he could play, man. I really do. Mm-hmm. Just committed to Appalachian State. They just don't want to see that third award high, man. So.
And well, the thing that I look at on this Yates game, if they meet up with Lamarck, is two things that come into play. This season, Lamarck has not faced a team that's similar to Yates. Yates has faced a few teams that's similar to Lamarck.
Interesting.
So that's the difference. That's one difference, and opposed, of course, the talent level, which favors heavily in Yates, because you're talking about you have one young man that's going to North Texas, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have
they got two 26-year-old trees down there. And they got Antoine Norman.
And he's holding off. I hear that Antoine Norman is likely now has he has an offer on the table from Prairie View, but and once again we talked about this topic earlier in the week. People just they cringe when you start using the spitting out truth serum about the academic. Academics will probably yield Antoine Norman from the Division I out of high school. From what I understand, all signs point to Antoine Norman going to Blinn Junior College. And that's what it looks like. That's the school to be. Which, guess what? Blinn is not far from Prairie View. So Prairie View can still get to keep their eyes on him and whatnot. Speaking of Prairie View, how you remember the young man Hatter that we talked about on the show 2 weeks ago that had gotten a little trouble?
Which one?
Right? At Trinity Valley College, former Yates High School star. Right?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, keep fine.
And got in a little trouble, and then I think whereas he had allegedly came in possession of the checkbook from his college coach.
No, I don't remember that one.
And somehow ran up a tab of items that were unauthorized purchases. Right?
Okay.
and this young man, Mitch Suriel from the Yates 2 years ago.
Okay.
He went to SFA
I
last
remember
year.
him. Yes.
He at Trinity Valley. Well, he's committed to Prairie View. So for him to commit to Prairie View, that's only one sign and one sign only. What does that mean to you, Marcus Sloan, for him to commit to Prairie View? What does that say?
It helped him out that little trouble.
Huh?
Or it means to me that they helped him get out of that little trouble he was in.
That means that that trouble is likely to go away, because there's no way that they will be able to accept him in that program at this status as a convicted felon. You see, they're probably going to downgrade the charges to something misdemeanor, and they'll give him a slap on the wrist, give him probation, or they'll dismiss it altogether. That's what that means. Byron Smith will not go on the ledge with this, not with this new president at Prairie View. Remember, they told us how they're not just letting any kid come in that program anymore. So that's pretty much. I want to give you guys that news.
Yeah, get him off the tank so he can go iron his days at Duke. Get him off the phone so he can go iron them days at Duke, them little tight pants he be wearing.
Hold on, we got 2 minutes. We got a bold prediction. We'll talk playoff with you. What you got real fast, Sloan?
The winner of the Hightower Port Arthur Memorial game won the state 5A championship.
I like Sloan.
Oh hell.
I like Sloan now.
Now, okay. Real quick though, I really like Shadow Creek and Coach President. I think that's a really, really good team. I do. But I just think the winner of this game tomorrow will win the state 5A championship.
Watch this, Sloan. I got something for you.
Oh Lord, that's crazy.
What do you put up?
Some clapping sounds. He got some clapping. Some clapping sounds, sound effects. Now, before we let you go, Sloan, you said the winner of Hightower and Port Arthur Memorial will win state. You proclaim. Who wins the Hightower Port Arthur game?
That's tough. My guy Kenneth Lawson Jr. I know he's watching the feed. Man, I'm not gonna bet against Bryce Griggs right now. I think he's just too hot. I think Woods has him playing too well, and I think Hightower will win the game tomorrow.
So you picking Hightower over Port Arthur Memorial, and of course, Kenneth Lawson Sr. is in the boom boom room.
I know
he's watching,
and that's my guy.
and he has enough. He has enough bulletin board material for Port Arthur. If they come out uninspired against Hightower, I can't wait till Monday to talk about that. And that's for certain. And because you have more than enough shows this week to help those kids in their quest to come out there fired up. Now I know one thing, Kenneth Lofton Jr., front cover of the magazine this year, he signed with Louisiana Tech, but I tell you one thing, he better not come out here and like he did the other night and only finish with 4 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, even though you won by 27, 29 points. That better not happen against this team. You score that against this team, your butts will be going back down I-10 East, real sad. But anyway, guys, hey, thanks, Sloan. We got some more calls coming in on the Chop Shop.
Thank you, big fella.
So, of course, the Chop Shop guys, once again, the phone lines open. We take it, we ride until the wheels come off. We got time for one more caller. You guys calling. We missed that call as we had Sloan on there, and I think somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else. They hung up. Sloan took up too much time.
No, Sloan we had to make his bold prediction.
No, I like that. I'm messing with it.
And of course, one more call, 832-264-1500 is the number. Thanks to you guys on the YouTube feed. They say the phone quality is great.
Jimmy, but you know what I'm thinking about? The excitement. Gone. The excitement. Last year, going into the playoffs, Houston is excited about this playoff. It's more excitement about this year. Just the comments and the people and everybody. People are more excited this year for some reason. That's just my opinion. When I watch the excitement, the comments and the people talking, the people texting, it's an exciting time for basketball in the Houston area.
Oh, indeed. I mean, well, the thing is, because this year, once again, in 6A, I mentioned you have 5 teams ranked in the top 12. That's right at 50% of the top 12 teams in the entire state are based in this area.
Okay.
So now guess what? We don't have Duncanville is the favorite.
Yeah.
But whoever comes out of this region 3 is going to be battle tested, and it will not be a fluke, because the good thing about it, between Dickinson, right, Martin Ranch is in a separate quad. Who's that? Beaumont United is in a separate quad.
Man, answer that phone.
One more. They bring us off the hook right now. Chop Shop, welcome to the Chop Shop. What do we got?
And well, you all think gonna be the breakout player this year in these playoffs?
What classification?
5A. Because my son was a breakout player last year in the playoffs, and Jimmy, you didn't like him for some reason.
Who was it?
Klein Forrest, Calvin Solomon, Lil Yachty.
Well, you know what? We like Calvin Solomon, but we just were riding with. But we couldn't ignore what Kyrie McDaniel was doing. He just grabbed.
No doubt. I mean, they don't. They've been together since 6th grade. I mean, one come out.
And I went and watched Klein Forrest the other night. I was really disappointed with the outcome and the lack of the no call by the referee. Well, the wrong call by the referee. What are your thoughts about that 3-point attempt that in from the young freshman that was called a 2?
First of all, I'm gonna tell you about the young freshman. Dog. Anyway, for the last 4 years, it's something about Klein Forrest. Every year we get bone in the hell.
Well, my thing is the same. From my understanding, the same referee was involved in your loss against D. Caney 2 years ago.
Exactly. When we went back court and came on, it's just something about it. I mean, it's brain. It's right there for you. It was wild. I mean, it's him.
Now, how about this though? If you're not in that situation, remember Klein Forrest was winning in the 4th quarter.
Hey, raise up now. Raise up. We missed 2 free throws, and we dedicated that next year to them same free throws. So what about that?
I feel you. And I hate the fact that your star, Dalen Hamilton, fouled out with a technical. You just don't foul out your last game with a technical. You cannot foul out your last game of your career on your 5th foul as a technical foul. That can't happen.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. Same way against Duncanville. That was not a foul. They don't foul us out the game. We win that game, bro.
Yeah, last year Calvin Solomon did foul out. If he don't foul out, you definitely win last year. I ride with you on that. Calvin Solomon on that court, but then you win. You win. So now I like the Williams kid. He had a big 3 from the left corner the other night. I like his stroke. I'm down with you. I'm down with Klein.
You know I'm down with you.
Next year. What you got next year?
That's more like.
Are you back
That's
next
more
year?
like.
Is Klein Forrest back next year? That's what we want to know.
I mean, hey man, you know we're gonna always be there. Yeah, Coach Black underrated, his style people don't like, but he put dubs up. I mean, after that, you can't ask for nothing but dubs. We'll be back. We'll be back.
You know what? I dig and I feel
Chan, let me tell you something about Chan, the freshman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In 4 years, he would be one of the best players in the city of Houston, greater area. I guarantee you that.
I can't wait. To see
that, and you right on that. Thanks a bunch for that call. Thanks for that, man. Hey, that's how we rocking on the Chop Shop, man. That's how we doing it, guys. The phone lines, of course, right there.
Hold on, Jim. I got it. I got to give him that horn, Jim.
One thing about Klein Forrest next year, the realignment, they go into a new district with the Tomball schools. So life is much easier for Klein Forrest starting next season because they will have all the Klein schools along with Tomball Memorial and Tomball. So no more of the spring ISDs and all that stuff. That no more of those schools for in that district as it currently stands.
Jimmy, I got to do something. Jimmy, we can't get off this air. We talked about Yates' game tonight. Have we talked about Martin Ranch and Sam Houston?
That's tonight.
That's tonight.
At Delmar.
Let's hit it. Don't forget to make that call, too, for me.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Come on.
As Marcus Sloan just said a while ago, it's hard to go against LJ, against Bryce Griggs. It's hard to go against LJ Cry.
Yeah.
LJ Cry,
yeah.
Remind you.
Yeah.
They won their first round game, right? Right?
Yeah.
The other day.
Okay.
And LJ Cry was held to only 22 points. I mean, they won. It was a tight game. Elkins was right there. Almost upset City. 22 points. LJ Cry is not going to be held to 22 tonight. LJ Cry is now. I'm expecting a 36-point game from LJ Cry tonight in this game. Sam Houston, remember now, this is a very, very important game. Look, keep your eyes on the front court. John Shanu, who's the hottest name among all big men in the city right now. That don't mean he's the best. I say he's the hottest because he's an unsigned senior. Picked up 2 offers earlier this week, Old Dominion and UT Arlington. He will be going opposite Big Eddie Lampkin, who's signed with TCU. Why does this? Of course, there's a big disparity in the level, but this kid, John Shanu, if he's hungry enough to go and prove he can take that Old Dominion offer and that UT Arlington offer, he can turn those into a U of H offer. You follow me? And an Iowa State offer after this performance. If he does what a lot of people is expecting him to do, and that is defend the interior, get about 5 to 7 block shots, he's not going to score much. But then neither is Eddie Lampkin. You follow me? So that means the plus or minus, the gap, meaning if you take what Eddie Lampkin and add his points and rebounds and blocks, add them up versus John Shanu's points, rebounds, and blocks. If Eddie Lampkin doubles him up in that total, Martin Ranch will have a field day. But if this kid keeps it close, then those are possessions for Sam Houston, because Sam Houston is young, but those guards, they are playing well. But Martin Ranch, they have all the intangibles. They have Adrian Caldwell. He's playing good ball right now. Adrian Caldwell gonna play himself. He's gonna play some free ball somewhere.
Jimmy, he don't want to play.
What do you want to do? Be a dentist?
Yeah.
You want to be a dentist?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that go to dentist school and stuff like that.
Yeah, he don't want to play basketball. But Jimmy, what about Wesley Saunders? Then you got Dylan. You got Ethan Shiflett.
Yeah, Ethan.
Wesley. Wesley.
And then what's my other young man name? The one I call him
Ernest. Which one?
I'm the captain of the ship. You know
Quat.
Quat.
Yeah.
I'm the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
You know,
Quat.
on that movie. You're like one of those, you know if you got those.
Yeah, Quat. Yeah. That's my man. Quat. I love Quat.
And Herb Baker says John Shanu has more upside than Eddie Lampkin.
Oh, yeah.
He'll outplay Big Eddie tonight easily.
I agree.
That's the thing. Let me tell you, outplay. What do you guys consider outplay? Because I just set the table for Eddie Lampkin. What's expected of, here's what I'm saying, expected. If you're going to the Big 12 and you're playing against a young man who just 1 week ago had no Division I offers, you expected to dominate him. But now the young man has options. He has UT Arlington or ODU. So I'm saying that, once again, if you take the points, rebounds, and block shots, points, rebounds, and block shots from both players, and add that total, Eddie Lampkin's number, it should double John Shanu's number. That's what I'm saying.
Let's go, Big Eddie.
It should double his number. And that's if it don't, that's okay. But they should not be in the same range. I don't care under no circumstances. They shouldn't be the same. Because at some point, put it like this: do you think that Cam Ambery's numbers should be in the same range with L.J. Cryer? Hell no. So think about it. Why? Because L.J. Cryer going to Baylor, Big 12.
Hey, man.
Just so happens Baylor has number 2 team in the country right now.
See what I'm talking about, high school basketball? See all this excitement about high school basketball? Dude, this stuff is crazy. Every night is going to be some – dude, this is a classic battle tonight, Jimmy. It's a classic battle tonight. I can't wait.
Sloan says Eddie Lampkin will have 13 and 15 tonight. That means that's 28. If you add on 2 blocks, that means Eddie will have a 30. That 30 – John Chanu won't have a 30. He won't have a 30 tonight. So that means Eddie Lampkin, if he has a 30, John Chanu has to bring a 15. He has to stay within, at least not get doubled up.
I got
you. See, by Eddie Lampkin's productivity.
Wow.
And that's the thing. That's the important thing. And really, the most important thing is rebounds. Really and truly, between those 2 big men. Because rebounds equal possessions. So,
my man, Kelly Oubre got a torn meniscus, Jimmy. They just popped that on the screen. He playing so well. Gosh. But yeah, Jimmy, it's that time, man. You got to get to the you got to go TV station.
Yeah. And we got one more question. Okay. Somebody asked tonight, will Yates' 100-point streak end tonight? Let me tell you guys something right now. If there was ever a game that 100-point streak can end, it's tonight.
Why?
Because the style of which Harden Jefferson is going to play, they're going to try to control and a little bit. Lamarck is going to be a little bit more gunslinging style. But this thing.
Wait a minute. Who Yates play tonight?
Harden Jefferson.
Who Lamarck plays?
Lamarck plays Lumberton.
Okay, I got you. My bad.
That's tomorrow.
Okay.
The Yates game is tonight.
Okay.
I'm picking the over and under for this Yates game tonight would be 102.
Dominic Green says ain't going to be close.
That's what we all say. That's what we all. Shout out to my man Zach Yanis. Zach said we got to get Kelly a knee brace. You doggone right. Of course, they definitely have a variety of various sports braces and stuff.
They do.
I got some of this stuff. Oh, dude, they good stuff. They got some colleges and stuff signed up with this stuff. Some good stuff.
What's up, Zach?
Yeah, man. Zach, hey, welcome to the Chop Shop. We're gonna talk more about their stuff.
Okay.
Of course, in March. When they said to well, they already launched. They got colleges and stuff signed.
Okay.
Up. But they're gonna saturate the greater Houston market.
Okay.
And because their thing is, it doesn't take us. It basically take a lot of the physicians and the supply houses. They get it. There are a lot of the programs. Their sports medicine department at the high schools and the trainers can go and have the authority and their budgets to go and get it. But they have good stuff. I was looking, man, some really good stuff that makes sense. Some of that stuff tighten up by itself when it feels the bone, like the ankle brace.
Okay.
When it feels your ankle, when it feels your bone or your ankle turning a certain way, it automatically tightens up.
I like that.
To keep it from spraining. That's some good. This technology off the charts.
Yeah, Zach, we got to. Yeah, Jimmy.
And so that goes. He just sent the tag on there, and Sloan asked a question for Zach. Marcus Sloan said, "Can you get a stomach brace from eating?" I'm done. I cannot.
I can't stand that boy, man.
I can't
stand him.
And so anyway, guys, Michael Jordan says it sounds like the bookmakers would be outside of the game tonight. And so, man, I'm just, dude.
It's called Smart Brace.
Once again, guys, don't forget, you can go over to rcssports.com and you too can check out our predictions for there are only 4 games that will be held tonight around Greater Houston. The games on Friday, you can go also click in the playoff tab to print your copy of the brackets, which are updated, as well as on tomorrow on the RCS Sports, we will post the predictions of most of Friday's games. You get that in the VIP news. How about that? Today's VIP news, we have breaking news on the two high school jobs which had just opened up in the past 48 hours. 2 high school jobs which are hot that have opened up I post both of them in the VIP news this morning. You guys can get the inside scoop before it saturates. No, I'm not going to tell you right now which ones. Go up in that VIP news and get your scoop. Once again, 2 high school jobs have opened up already, and I'm expecting about 3 more around the area to easily open up within the next month. We'll stay tuned for that and a lot more next week. Yes, I'm back on the TV screen Saturday and Sunday on High School Sports Zone alongside Todd Freed. Set your DVRs, tape it. We will be talking about a lot of the playoff action this week on this weekend's show. Once again, this High School Sports Zone comes on at 6 p.m. on the Cube 57, which is also 53 if you have Xfinity cable service. Other than that, Hatter, we got a lot of high school games this weekend. I'm going girls Region 3 Class 6A tournament. I will be in the building this weekend checking them out. Summer Creek, Side Creek Part 2. The rematch is going down. I'm predicting the upset. That's why it's a reason why they call upsets. I'll leave you guys with that. On behalf, of course, Robert Haller, I'm Jim Hicks. It's time to slide on down Dino's back.
We out of here, baby.
Shout out to all you guys. Make sure you share today's show with your family, your friends in the timelines. You got to share that show. Keep this thing rolling. Shout out and peace to my people over on the YouTube feed. I love you guys, man. Thanks so much for the support.
Yes.
We'll see you guys on Monday. We up out of here. Chop shop.
Out. Let me hit that button, Jim. We get out of here, y'all. We get Jimmy off the screen. And let me hit my button, and then I'm out of here. Y'all done stole my button. Oh, there it is.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop.